Hello everybody, welcome to another Facebook Live with Jeannie. I'm Jeannie Nielsen, the card lady. So nice to see all of you here today. I'm going to give you all a minute to join me, and hopefully I am right side up and not inside out and upside down and sideways like I've been in the past. Anyway, I'm so happy to see you. I had a busy day, so I slept about half an hour, but that's okay. I'm still ready for you. I decided not to reinvent the wheel. I had a card ready to go for tonight's card class, and I decided we are going to talk about that card. So here we go. Actually, I have a whole bunch of things to show you, so I will probably flip down sooner rather than later so that I can do that. Let's see. Oh, my dogs, they're barking. Mickey and Minnie are very busy watching the house, making sure nobody's going to break in. It's kind of yucky weather. Dark, dreary, windy. Oh my goodness, all the pine needles that have come down today has been crazy. It's almost like snow. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, I think I'm ready to go. I'm not going to, let's see. Do I have the wand? No, I don't want to do that. It's always an adventure, isn't it? It's so fun. So let's see. Hi, Elaine. Good to see you. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this or not, but we're going to try it. I am going to flip down. Actually, what I'd like to do is flip up. Hi, Arlene. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm trying to figure out where I am. Now you're looking, I'm going to go this way. So I'm flipped upside down, and no, it's not going to work. Let's flip back down, and I'm going to just show you this stuff. Whoa. Well, that's not how you do it. Cindy is going to have to give me a lesson today because I'm missing something. But put this back in, and we're going to flip it down. So, microfiber towel and a block, a D block. This is my favorite block of all times. And so you could clean it with this microfiber cloth. That's the idea. And then, of course, a couple of alcohol wipes to get rid of any extra grease and grime and adhesive and you name it. So that's that. I think I actually put some candy corns in there too, if I remember correctly, but not in this bag. So next, everybody got a package of the Regal's designer paper stack. This 6x6 stack, I used the pieces to get prepare the card kits, and then I put all the leftover pieces in here. So still, out of 48 sheets, you probably end up with 45 full sheets, and then a couple of extra nearly full-size sheets so that you can use for other cards. And this is great for fall. This was inspired by my friend Diane. She gave this to us at our backstage event in New Orleans. This cute little, these are the Peekaboo treat bags. They come in white and craft. It has a window so you can see what's inside. And this is a caramel apple chocolate Ghirardelli chocolate square. So really, really cool. And then I have to remember that when it has the notches, that's where it opens at the top. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it opens on the other side. Nope, that's where it opens. Okay, let's try and do this again. So we've got this, and it's got almost like a zipper closure. So the other thing that Diane put in this that I thought was so cool is this cute little scraper. And I think I got them, you can get them from Stamp and Storage. You can get them from the dollar store. If you want to get it, maybe die cuts off of your plates, you can use this thing. This was not very expensive at all. This beats the spatula, the Pampered Chef spatula that I've kept downstairs because I have been, there were certain, you know, the die cuts, like Grassy Grove, where it leaves a whole bunch of the little, what do they call it? Chads. They call them little chads, and you have to scrape them off. Well, this little thing, I keep over by my die cutting machine, and I can remove that. So that's that. And of course, this is a little bit of the harvest, the celebration paper. That's a host paper. So that's that. But remember, I don't know if you remember, but when I advertised my retreat, I said you were getting a $50 goodie bag because I was trying to earn my trip to Norway, which I did thanks to everybody like you that helped me and cheered me on. Couldn't have done it without you. Oh, I forgot to show you. These are the little leaves with the amber gems, and they're so cute. This stamp is, I don't know if you can see it, the little background stamp is oak leaves from the Cottage Wreaths stamp set. Isn't that ironic, since we're talking about that tonight? With this sentiment in Cajun Craze stamped also. Next, last but not least, and I can't remember, we did special cupcakes too, but I made these cute little cases for everybody. And I had a lot of help. I have to say that this retreat, it takes a village to do a retreat to make it really, really special. And this one was no different. I had lots of help in my craft room in the days leading up to it. So this is one of our clear cases, and I put the black and white paper, which I believe is in the mini catalog and you could use for Halloween. I put that in. This had moved. It was actually more centered. But of course, I love these die cuts. Do you guys remember these die cuts? These die cuts were very Stitched So Sweetly, I believe was the name of these die cuts. Boy, I printed it out and then I die cut. And everybody had their own chamois. So that also was one of the gifts. So just wanted to share that with you guys because I didn't. Oh, and speaking of clear cases, and this is going to lead me to my next subject. If you are on my mailing list, you would have seen that this was our first week of Christmas project. Again, using the clear stamp cases. In my tutorial, gave you a link so you can print out this Christmas gift list and insert it in the inside. And then you can put your receipts on this side and keep everything together. Stick it in your purse, take it with you to the store. You can do your gift shopping right from your list because you know who you're getting it for, what you'd like to get, and maybe even keep track of the price and if you got it or not. So this, of course, was the Santa Express paper. I believe it's the Santa Express. But anyway, I even used a little of the puff paint on his cuffs and on the hat brim. So fun to color with the things. But anyway, so what I'm trying to tell you is sign up for my mailing list because tomorrow morning, project number 2 goes out. I'm collaborating with 4 other designers. We have all committed to doing cards and 3D projects, and I'm so excited because they're so cool. So you get a little taste of not just me, but of other crafters and their styles. So, and the PDF you get with it. At the end, you will get a PDF for everything or the links for everything so you can download them. But you need to be on my mailing list or you're not going to see this and you won't see what tomorrow's project is. Okay, so that's that for today on that. Tonight I'm having my Cottage Wreaths card class. I really don't like that I'm sideways, but it's too late now and I can't do it so that you can see what I'm doing. So I apologize. I thought I was on a roll this time because it said live instead of live reel or live event or whatever. So anyway, this card again was inspired by my friend Diane. I'm trying to stay in the field. I can't see comments because I couldn't flip downward. I don't know why the camera wasn't there, but it wasn't. I'm going to have to talk to Cindy about this because she is the technological wizard. This is a pivot card, so you'll learn how to make this card in tonight's class. Isn't that cool? She had used more of this paper, but because I wanted to conserve this fabulous pattern, which is, I believe it's Calypso Coral probably. I wanted to save that because it came out to like 12.5 inches per strip. Instead, I used some harvest paper, which I thought coordinated very nicely. So there you go. So you'll learn how to make that in tonight's card class. Next card is this one, and this is a really cool spring card. Using the mint macaron and soft succulent colors. I stamped the wreath and then I put flowers on it. And I wanted to do something a little different. I actually wanted to use the little fun flower, loose flowers on it, but I didn't have enough for the class, so I had to improvise. So we had these little trinkets, these little flower trinkets. I don't know if you can see them. I put some iridescent pearls on the inside and I colored them with pink, probably Flirty Flamingo, I'm thinking. And this one just does not want to stay in the center of my flower for some reason. But anyway, I colored it with the Flirty Flamingo blends and added them because they're adhesive onto my wreath. So isn't that a fun card? This card is a fun fold card. I'm trying to stay in the camera and I apologize. I love the smoky slate. Don't you remember? This color is going to be the color of my bathroom when it gets redone. My brother is coming tomorrow to work on our deck on the back of the house. And hopefully next spring he'll be able to come and work on our bathroom. And it's going to be gray and so saffron. Those are the colors. I just love those colors. It still looks like fall because that looks like a wreath, not a wreath, a wheat bundle. And then I used some of these fun, I believe these are the Pale Papaya in color gems on there. So you can see that. So a really easy card to do. You just have to cut a separate little piece under here and tuck it under the basic white before you attach it. But if you were coming to card class, you'd see that tonight, but that will be a card for the future. So let's get to the card that we're going to make tonight. This is tonight's card. And I think I do have to try and get down lower. And I'm sideways. I know I'm at an angle and I do apologize. Let's do it like that. Because of the light here, it's really causing quite a glare too. But anyway, so this fun card is Gorgeous Grape. And I use the gingham cottage paper. I love the bold squares of the pumpkin pie in black. This one, I have to say, was not my own invention. No, I don't mean that. I did come up with this by myself, but with a lot of help from my teammate, Shirley. I'd say, what do you think about this? And she'd say, well, what do you think about this? And then I'd say, well, what do you think about this? And she'd say, well, how about this? And then so in other words, it was a collaborative effort to come up with this card. So I'm trying to do it. I'll have the picture. There we go. So it's got a fun, gorgeous grape bow at the bottom. I use some of our fun washi tape, the Halloween washi tape. So we've got our stitch shapes or stylish shapes circle, and I've got some to show you. So let's get making this card. So first of all, this is going to be in next week's newsletter. You always get the recipe card to that. This is Gorgeous Grape 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. I always pre-score rather than folding and then using my bone folder. I love to pre-score my cards, and they're almost always exact. So that's that. Then I have this 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic black. I really can't see with my, maybe if I do it that way so it's not blinding me. I'm trying to look in the frame and make sure I'm still showing. So this is basic black, embossed with the quatrefoil folder. Now, I first did not like this folder, and I don't know what I was thinking, but boy, is this fun. It does. I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago, there was I believe it was a hardwood folder, and when it embossed the paper, it embossed it really flat. Well, this is no different. Boy, the thickness is gone from this. It really smushed this folder. I feel almost to the point that with the embossing, it almost made it thinner so that you could rip it. Not quite. The folders have gotten so much better even than years ago. So I embossed it. This reminds me for some reason of the Addams Family. And don't ask me why. I can't tell you why. Let me see if I can get more light here. No, I'm not plugged in. Okay, so anyway, I don't know why it reminds me of the Addams Family, but I look at this and I think Addams Family. And I didn't even watch that show, just to let you know. So if I'm wrong, you can tell me. I'm going to respond to all of your comments at the end, by the way. I will go back and respond to them and comment back. I love it when you tell me where you're watching from. If you're watching it live, if you're watching a replay, if you can see what I'm doing, if you love what I'm doing, make sure you share it as well. This is the gingham cottage paper. So we have both a solid almost pumpkin pie, and probably with pale papaya behind it, small square, and then we've got the more bold squares on the back. So we're going to, first of all, do a little gluing, and you don't need a whole lot. That's about all the glue I always put on my stuff, by the way. I'm going to put that right in the center of my embossed basic black piece. This one, oh, I should tell you, is 4 inches. Of course, it's 4 by 5 1/4, so it is 3.5 by 4 inches. So not quite a full square. There we go. Next, I am going to lay down my label. Now, this label is from the seasonal labels dies. It goes with the stamp set for Christmas that has the pines and everything. So it is in the annual catalog. These are great labels. Love these labels. You know what I'm going to do before I lay that down, though, is add the little bit of the, isn't this fun? This really bright, fun, glitzy, you know how I love my glitter and shine. Well, this is a fun washi tape that you can put down. So I'm going to put that right across the center. I'm going to center it right between those the two ends. And because it's washi tape, you can lift it up and remove it and put it where you want it to. And then I could rip it. I did rip it. There we go. I love to I collect all this washi tape, by the way, because I seal up all of my card packets with that. So a really fun way to do that. In case you need a good reason to buy washi tape. I have a giant bag of it underneath my embossing station, and a giant bag of twine, and there's a couple of things that you just have to have lots and lots of. You know what? I got to do this once more. I don't like that. You're probably not going to see it, but I don't like that it is not quite straight. Okay, close enough. There we go. Okay, there's a saying that came to mind, but I can't complete it, so I'm not going to say it. Okay, so we've got our washi tape down on our seasonal label die. Now I have here my Stylish Shapes circle. So I am going to stamp that, and I should have a pad here, but I don't, so we're going to do it without. I'm going to stamp that with my Viney wreath. So let's do that. So this, I believe, is the second largest shape. When I do my sizes, when I talk about it in my tutorials, I always talk about it from largest to smallest. And it's so funny because I was giving directions to Judy one time and she said, yeah, that looks like it's the third smallest. And I'm like, okay, or the second largest, you know, because isn't it funny how we all have our own system for doing things? I'm going to stand up. I don't know if you saw, this is a relatively large shape image. So I like to bring my ink pad to that. I like, rather than bringing my ink pad to the, my stamp to the ink pad. So we are going to stamp that right in the center. And then I'm going to do something different than I did on this card. On this card, I used the little classic matte dots, and I'm not going to do that tonight. I want to shake things up a bit. I want to show you another product that you may not have noticed in the catalog. Oh, I forgot. You know what else I have to do? I have to stamp my spider. Now this is a little bit challenging because my die is the same size as my spider. Well, let me tell you, over and over again, I stamped this spider and then cut it out, and it would cut out crooked. It actually works out better for me, for some reason, to cut out the die and then stamp the spider. Now, it's not going to work because I'm on camera, I'm sure, because that's the way life works. But I'm going to try. I'm going right over top, and I'm going to stamp. I don't know if I'm in the camera or not. Let's try to stay in camera. And yeah, not bad. Could be more perfect, but it could also be less perfect. And besides, we want this to look handmade, right? That's what people keep reminding me. If it's not perfect, it's probably handmade. Or at least, I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. So what I'm going to do here is attach my spider. Now I could do it with a dimensional, but I kind of want him to blend in, I think. It just seems like he's better attached to the paper. So let me just attach him to the paper. And it took me a long time to figure out which is top and which is bottom. And I decided that the claw-like thing looks like the top to me. So that's where we're going to put things. Right there. And then I'm actually going to move. No, I'm not going to do that because I'm with the magic of camera. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Okay, so now, rather than using the classic matte dots, I am going to use this Pearlized Enamel Effects Basic Black paint. I believe it's paint. It's enamel. It's pearlized enamel, so it's shiny and it's fun. It's got a relatively fine tip, so it's not a big deal. What I like to do when I'm stamping something and doing it to see if it's dry, I actually stamp on a separate piece of paper too, so I can test it, rather than ruining my project. So what I'm going to do, you'll understand what I'm saying in just a second, because that sounded like rambling, but that could be because I slept only half an hour today. Yep, it's one of those days. So what I'm doing is squeezing very gently just a little bit of this enamel. I'm kind of going inside and outside, and I hope you can see. I'm kind of far away. Let's see if I can get further. The last time I did this, we went flying, so we'll see. Okay, we're going to do a couple more dots. I'm actually going to leave space at the bottom so we can attach our bow. And what I was rambling about just a second ago, saying I do it on a separate piece of paper, is I want to make sure that when I stamp this, I can tell when it's dry. This takes a little while. I have to say I haven't tried heat setting it. It's worth a shot. I just don't want to ruin my project, especially on camera, so I'm not going to do it, but it is quite a possibility to do that. It might dry quicker. But the other thing you can do, and I'm going to move this out of the way. Oh, you know what? I blew it because with the magic of camera, I need my spider. Okay. Voila. Here's my finished project. I think, yeah, these are dry. So this has been drying for about 20 minutes. So that's a pretty good indicator of how long it takes. 20 minutes before I went on, and I've been doing it, it's more like 45 minutes, minimum of, at least 45 minutes, I'll say, or not. Anyway, I'm mixing myself up. I'm so tired sometimes. Okay, so I've got my bow, and I'm going to add that to the bottom, and I'm just going to do that again with a dot of glue, or you could do a glue dot. Definitely could do a glue dot. Going to add that to the bottom, just like that. Try not to use as much glue as I did, but the good thing is it dries clear, so it doesn't really matter. Now I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool. People I've realized, have two different sides that they prefer. You could use the spatula side, and that's what I used to use, I have to say. And then I have my my stamping lady, Susan. She loves to use a pointy tool, not necessarily the Take Your Pick tool, but a pointy tool to lift her dots and everything on. What I've started doing, and I am a big believer in now, is the little putty end, and you can buy refills for that. All you have to do is, I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. And like I said, I believe it's dry, but I'm not positive. what I'm going to do is add a couple of, you know what, before I do that, let's finish the card. Let's finish gluing it together real quick. So I'm going to add some glue to the back of mine. You know, with all of this design, with all of the embossed and debossed areas on here, I use a little bit more glue, I have to say, because it seems like it has to get in those little nooks and crannies sometimes to stick. So just keep that in mind when you're embossing and attaching your folders. Might take a little bit more adhesive than usual. There we go. And what am I going to do next? I'm going to attach my label to the front. So I've got my glitzy washi tape label. Just going to attach that right across. I was going to do ribbon, but we don't have a really great purple ribbon. And then I saw this washi tape. I'm like, oh, this will be awesome. Let's see. What am I going to do next? Oh, I forgot. And I don't know if I have more than one or not, because it might have fallen on the floor when I took it out of my envelope. I'm going to attach a bat here, and I'm going to show you two different ways of doing that. We have here the black dimensionals, which you could certainly use. Certainly. I'm going to show you something else, and which is kind of fun. And my friend Michelle did this and shared this, and I thought she was brilliant. I still think she's brilliant, but just to let you know. So this is what she did. Maybe this is where I'm going to use that little pointy side of my Take Your Pick tool. I am going to lift this up, and I know my thumbs are going to be all in the way. You're not going to see what I'm going to do. But so I'm adding the dimensional. So I could totally do the black, and this is the only time I use the black. So this would be perfect. But if you don't have black, this is what you're going to do. You are going to attach this. No, you know what I'm going to do? Wait 1 second. Hold that thought, because I don't have the right tool here. What I'm going to do, and I think this is what Michelle shared, unless I just came up with it myself and I thought she shared it. I'm going to use my basic black marker, and what I'm going to do is color the sides of my dimensionals. So it's going to blend in and not look white from the side. So isn't that a cool idea? So just use the broad tip, the brush tip of your marker, and then it will blend right in with the card. And I'm pretty sure she did it with the bats too. Oh, so you're probably wondering where these bats came from. These are die cuts from the Scary and Cute. Oh, I'm going to get black ink all over my hands because I didn't take the adhesive off yet and I just colored it. Oh, look at that. Here we go. Okay, let's see. If you ever have trouble getting the covers off of your dimensionals, use your thumbnail and press in the center, and then they pop right up. Isn't that so cool? Okay, so let's do that right at the top. Make our bat go the right direction. And someplace I'll find the other one. See, you almost can't, it blends right in with the card. You can't see the black because I colored it. And if you want to just do some touch up because you didn't do a great job like me, that's easy to do too. So either use black dimensionals or color the sides of your dimensionals. I suppose that could actually work for any die cut you use. If you have a purple die cut and you want it to, the mini dimensional or the larger dimensional to blend in, you could totally color it with your marker. What a fabulous idea. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, let's put this back on. Oh, so now what I'm going to do is attach this here in the center. And that's more glue. This is really a simple card. There's really not much to this card at all. I could pop it up. I probably did pop up the last one, but Oh well, I forgot to do it this time, so we're not going to do it. Turn it. So this is a little bit different than this one. See, this is the black matte dots. This is the pearlized paint. It's not quite as black as I would like, but it's nice. Okay, so let me put the dimensionals out of the way. And this is where I was using the Take Your Pick tool and my putty side. And I'm just going to add a couple of dots. So this is what I do. I push it right off the window sheet, just like that. And it still hangs on to the putty. So that's really cool. I think that's so cool. And I love the purple. Isn't that so, so cool? I think for the middle, I had used a small dot, but I'm going to use a medium-sized dot this time for the center of my bow. Just like that. Oh, so pretty. So pretty, so spooky, right? So that's my card. Oh, I forgot to stamp the boo. Let's stamp the boo, and hopefully it's not going to get interfered with from the bow and the spider, but we're going to stamp our boo. So the boo is one of the little stamps in the Cottage Wreaths stamp set in the bundle. So I didn't, except for the die cut bow, I really didn't use anything from the bundle right now, but let me show you the dies real quick. There we go. So easy because it's nice and clear. This is definitely one of those stamp sets you're going to want to have. Great for all seasons. I think I showed you that with this and your spring and your fall. And tomorrow's card, I shouldn't be giving it away, but your Christmas tutorial tomorrow is going to use Cottage Wreaths with a fun fold, and that's going to be Christmas. So let me show you some of the dies real quick. These are not part of it, but you've got this die. This one, you can cut, you can see that this is where I used this one right there. And it cuts some of that, the detailed leaves out. So I did that over top of a solid smoky slate. That's what that was. Of course, you got your bow. You've got your wheat bundles. And you've got your, actually there's two. There's actually a bow that you can stamp and then cut out too. I didn't end up using that on any of my cards, and I'm not sure why, but I didn't. So anyway, of course, these are all the bats from Scary Cute. So I'm going to put these back in my fabulous magnetic bowl. You can get these at Harbor Freight's in the automotive section. It holds the nuts and bolts for the mechanics. So anyway, let me flip back up, hopefully not flip off. And I wanted to say thank you for joining me. I went down really quick because I thought that I was going to have a lot to share and be able to watch your comments, and obviously that didn't work. One of these days, Facebook is going to cooperate with me. But in the meantime, I'm so glad you joined me. I'm going to respond to your comments, so make sure you comment. And maybe I will send somebody a card kit using Cottage Wreaths if you comment. I'm not going to tell you who, but we'll pick that next week. So put a comment in there. I will pick your name and I will send you a card kit because I've got a couple of extra. Thanks so much, guys. Have a fabulous weekend. I know I'm going to. I'm so looking forward to my parents visiting. It's actually my dad's 80th birthday on Monday. So we're going to celebrate and have a great time. I love you guys. I'll see you next Thursday. Oh, thanks, Judy. Too bad this Facebook is such a, I don't know, debacle. That's a good word. But anyway, oh, Diane, thanks for watching. You probably saw that I shared a couple of things. But if not, you're going to have to watch the replay. I shared a couple of things that you shared with me. So thanks so much. This is my favorite part. Just being with you guys and sharing so much and getting so many ideas from you. So have a wonderful day. I will see you next week. Bye.